The United States has given its formal response to Russian demands in relation to Ukraine. Russia had published a list of its concerns, including a demand that Ukraine never be allowed to join the NATO military alliance. The US Secretary of State Antony Blinken said that he was offering a serious diplomatic path forward should Russia want to take it. But he warned that the US was acting with equal focus to bolster Ukraine's defences. Well, Moscow has deployed an estimated 100,000 soldiers near the border in both Belarus and Russia. President Putin has accused Western nations of aggressive expansion into Russia's sphere of influence, and he claims that one of his key concerns is the expansion of NATO. That's the military alliance of European states with the US and Canada. Many countries in Eastern Europe became members of NATO after the fall of the old Soviet Union. Our Eastern Europe correspondent, Sarah Rainsford, has sent this report from Kiev.
Matches, needle, etc., medicals and bandage, medicine.
Yuri is getting ready for a war he hopes he never sees. He's packed an emergency bag to grab and go if Russian bombs or troops reach Kiev. A basic survival kit for the worst possible scenario.
What does it actually feel like to be doing this?
It's unbelievable. So I understand that I'm living now in 21st century. I'm amazed that I should do this, that I should pack this bag, but this is what I have to do to keep my family safe.
Yuri thinks a major escalation in Ukraine's 8-year-long war with Russia is unlikely. He just feels better being prepared for it. Today, the US government strongly advised its citizens to leave Ukraine. The government here calls warnings of a major new incursion by Russia alarmist, but it's not ignoring the tens of thousands of troops deployed near its border.
A few weeks ago, the authorities here actually released a map with all the bomb shelters. And just look at it, there's thousands of them, 5,000 in fact, all over the city.
Marking a map, though, is the easy bit.
The door's locked. And this is one of the official bomb shelters, supposedly. So either nobody here is expecting war to break out any minute now, or they're just not very well prepared for it.
The metro might be a safer bet deep below ground. If the air raid siren sounds, people will have 20 minutes to get down here.
There's so much talk now outside Ukraine about the possibility of the conflict escalating, of an imminent Russian invasion. And it's quite weird being here inside Kiev itself and realising that people are just going about their ordinary lives. There's no sense of panic here at all. Do you think it's possible that the conflict could actually reach Kiev?
I don't know. I don't have any information about it. So I'm just living my best life right now and hoping that everything will be okay.
Did you make any kind of preparations or any emergency?
No.
So as Western governments wrestle with Moscow's ultimatums and demands, Ukrainians, for now, are getting on with a life they've long lived in the shadow of Russian threats and aggression. Sarah Rainsford, BBC News, Kiev.
Let's go live to Washington, talk to our correspondent Barbara Plett-Usher. Barbara, when we look at the nature of these responses, where do you think it leaves us?
Well, it's a good question. I mean, basically what it is these written responses are something for which Russia has been waiting. So they're essentially a test to see if diplomacy will work. The Secretary of State, Antony Blinken, he said there weren't any surprises. The Americans are still rejecting Russia's main demands, that NATO prevent Ukraine from joining, that it roll back its presence in Eastern Europe. But in the paper, the Americans spell out where they think they can work with Russian security concerns. This involves missile deployments, military exercises. And NATO sent a separate document to Russia as well, making similar offers. Of course, the issue is that this falls far short of what the Russians want. And the Kremlin has actually warned that there would be retaliatory measures if its demands are rejected. But first, there are going to be talks. So these papers, the delivery of this paper, sets up now a meeting between the U.S. Secretary of State and the Russian foreign ministers. So it keeps a diplomatic channel open, but it's not at all clear where that channel is going to lead.
Barbara, many thanks again. Barbara Plett-Usher, correspondent there at the State Department in Washington.